Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games, and today we're going to talk about a topic I think is really interesting to me, and it's kind of curious, right? So recently, Blake did a first preview, first look at the Lord of the Rings set, and now there's a lot of everyone's enthralled by Black Aragorn and the One of One ring, but I think a lot of people missed a really important part of that stream. In the beginning, Blake did mention something that they are revitalizing the Magic Stories podcast. So I think Magic is finally realizing that building their own IP is way more important than to draw from other people's IP or expecting players to kind of just be so interested to go buy the Magic books or go read a bunch of supplemental articles out there. Okay. And yes, while I understand like fully that a Magic the Gathering podcast is also supplemental information, I think personally, for me at least, it's a lot better than a book I have to read because I can't read a book while doing something else, right? But I can definitely listen to a podcast while walking, running, packing cards for customers, doing other things around the house, driving, right? These are all great times when I can listen to podcasts. And so I think this is a much better medium for me to consume that data and consume this media. So I think that is definitely a step in the right direction. And if you look at the podcast too, this podcast was started a long time ago. I forgot when the first episodes or set of episodes were done, but they didn't really like run it for too long because I guess maybe the consumer data was not great. They weren't getting a lot of people who were interested in the show, etc. And so there's that. Then they did a rerun of it, kind of like trying to basically say, hey, can we revive it a little bit? And they did it for the original Dominaria set, right? So this is the one in 2018, and they ran that for I think 6 episodes, talking about geography, Church of Sarah, different like topics around Dominaria, which is actually kind of cool, right? You have, I think Ethan Fleischer was one of the persons on that podcast describing the whole thing to everybody, which I think was great. World building type of thing. It's cool. But they didn't do anything with that afterwards. So now, as of March this year, they've revived this podcast. And now they're going over this like final chapter, final arc of the Phyrexian, invasion. And I think it's really cool because it's, people and players are more enthralled by a game if they care about the characters, they care about the storyline, they care about where it's going to go. And if you provide more data, more information for these people, they're going to like your story, like your cards more. And of course, that just yields to buying more product. So this is to me, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely something that they should be building. So I'm 100% supportive of Magic having identity and having its own IP. So all this is really great. And besides, like, if you don't like it, doesn't matter. You don't have to listen to a podcast. And if you do like it, well, guess what? They're going to do more of these things. The stories are going to be more involved. And again, it's just provided free to you so that you can kind of enjoy. Personally, I would love to see maybe some sort of return to like a storybook or something. So like, if you bought bundles from a long time ago, you would remember like the bundles used to have a booklet that comes with each bundle, and the booklet would have all the cards that you can like kind of like a check-off list type of thing, and it even has like holes for your ring binder, so you can put it into a binder and have a check. It's very cool, right? And it's well designed. But they stopped doing that because I don't know why, honestly. And they made the bundles more and more just about the cards and less about like, building the world building elements of it. So it would be really nice if they return back to that world building element where, they give you a little booklet with like a little collector's checklist type of thing. And you could like, maybe it has a couple chapters in the beginning showing you the storyline and just talking about what's going on. Like, I mean, as a kid, I remember like when I got, Diablo 2, the box set, whatever, I read through the books multiple times. I remember getting StarCraft, the first StarCraft, like the box set of 3 games or whatever. It's 2 games, Brood War and the original, but with the Prima strategy guide. I think I still have those upstairs. It's great. But also it came with like a little booklet for the actual StarCraft game. And inside the booklet, there's a little bit of artwork, but kind of like the story, the history, who's Raynor. It really went through a lot of the details, kind of get you excited about the game. I thought those things were fantastic, and I wish Magic would do more of that. So include in the gift bundles or the bundles in themselves in general, like a little booklet, just talking about what the Lord of the Rings set was, or talking about whatever. And do it from a more story perspective. bring me into the story, bring me into the set. I would also probably, and this is a stretch, but include that booklet with like booster boxes, because nowadays there's a lot of players who buy entire booster boxes. You got to remember, like back 20 years ago, there are very few people who are buying entire booster boxes. A lot of people go to a store, right? And the store has the booster boxes open. You grab a couple packs, and then that's how you like engage with Magic. Nowadays, there are a lot of people who are buying entire booster boxes, if not multiple booster boxes, or in some other card games, cases, right? Again, the part of this is because those TCG players back from the 90s grew up, and now they have a disposable income, and they have the money to go spend for this stuff. So there's no reason why you shouldn't insert that booklet into even a booster box, which is traditionally a product that a store would have on the shelf. But nowadays it could just be, like a complete product for some one customer. So yeah, I'd include that in there too. I mean, we have these insert now, which are kind of nice. It has like little draft archetypes and a little bit of history, but do a little bit more of that, I think, would be really great too. The second thing I noticed that really changed recently is around Magic's attitude towards competitive play. And here's the thing, Magic ultimately is a game, and I would argue it's a very good game. The rules are clean, the rules are clear, and there are a lot of things I really like about the elegance of Magic, the game in general, right? And I think a game really should have elements where you promote this idea of competition and to promote the idea that it should be played as a game. And I think this is where Magic, in my personal opinion, is far superior than like Pokemon, right? Is because Pokemon, while it is a game, I do not think there are many players who are actually playing the game. I think a lot of people who are buying Pokemon are more or less just collecting, or they're opening packs and doing the whole like, dare I say, gambling element of the whole collectible trading card game. And that's all fine and good, but that's what they're good at, right? Oh, look at me pulling a whatever VMAX full frame holographic whatever stuff. That's what they care about. But for me, for Magic, I love playing the game. I love drafting the game. I love playing Commander. I love doing all these different parts of the game, right? I tried Pioneer, and I think it was really cool, actually. And that's why I think it's important for Magic, Wizards of the Coast specifically, to go promote this game through competition, through like challenges, championship, through professional players, and really give them a path where these professional players are essentially like your symbols and they're at your advertisement for the game. Because what you're selling is not just a collectible piece of art, you're selling a card game. And then I think we need to bring a lot of people back to Magic to play as a game and not just to collect as like cardboard, mini art pieces. And so I think it's important. I would even say, like, why doesn't Magic run CEDH competitions and then make sure to broadcast them? I think a lot of players would love to see what, professional EDH competitions look like. I mean, look at Game Nights. Game Nights is such a popular YouTube TV show because it's EDH and people love watching different players play Commander and the different like types of banter, the different like types of alliances or whatever backstabbing that happens in Commander. People love that stuff. Magic, WOTC should just do that officially. Now, you could say, okay, well, if you have a bunch of people who are YouTubers doing this kind of unofficially, isn't that just free advertisement? I would say yes, but there are definitely benefits to having a little bit more competitive, a little bit more professional, a little bit more, curated version of this thing that's available to all audience, right? And so when I look at competition, when I look at bringing Pro Tours back, look at the reception. They brought Pro Tours back and they had over 40K views. Concurrent viewers, or 30K, I forgot. It's some high ass number. Nobody was expecting that many people to go watch Magic, but a lot of people watch Magic, and that tells you what's happening. There's pent up demand. People want to see what people are playing, decks and deck tech and ideas and theories and all that stuff. People want to see that stuff. Which brings me also to my frustration with Arena. If Arena is going to be like the flashy new client to play Magic the Gathering, and you're kind of focusing on a couple formats. You're not allowing, it's not MTGO where it's like basically play paper Magic in digital, right? Arena is like the flashy format where you're like, hey, there's going to be really cool animations. The game looks clean, but we're only supporting a couple of like different formats. Cool, because we haven't coded all the cars in. That's fine. But god damn it, dude, WOTC, go make spectator mode. I don't understand why this thing's been out for like 4, 5, 6 years and it still feels like a beta. It's insane. Like there's no chatting. Oh, sorry, we have chatting now, but it's buggy as hell. It's like, make this thing what it's supposed to be. Have a spectator mode. Have people be able to watch people draft live. The amount of people that would be engaged with this game and would spend money if you just build these features in, it's endless. It's truly endless, okay? And it's like, I don't understand why in WOTC's mind they don't understand the importance of things like professional play and whatever. But here's the good thing though. The good news is it does look like they've realized their mistakes. It does look like they are moving towards this direction now. They're hosting more pro tours, which is good. And there's going to be a world championship, all this stuff. That's all great things. And so look, really the whole point of this video is like, I mean, yes, I bash on Magic all the time, whatever, but when they do good things like the story, building their personal IP, bringing back professional play, when they do these things that are good for the game, it's good. It's really good. Mark, Solo Games, stay classy.